Welcome to battle number 2 of week number 7 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to be pitting Drizzle Boys' team, which is Harlem Gloomtrotters, versus Noob Scrub's team, which is Patch 3.0 Ivysaurs. As a reminder, the Mega Pokemon available in this battle is Mega Venusaur on Noob Scrub's team, and then we have Z Pokemon, Z Attack Latios, I believe, and Z Slurpuff on Drizzle Boys' team, and then Z Blissey on Noob Scrub's team. This battle is going to be pretty interesting considering the fact that we are going to see another one of those tests of offensive team going against a bulky team. It looks like Noob Scrub is going back to a little bit more of his roots from the preseason in Season 1, going a little stallier this time. I mean, maybe not. Maybe his Stallmons are actually offensive, but it looks like he's a little bit stallier this time. Chandelure and Comfy can both be some really good offensive threats, but the other four he has used defensively more often than offensively. And he did not bring his Sandcore this time, which Hippowdon and Stoutland he's pretty known for right now, running that like mix of stall and bulky offense. Meanwhile, Drizzle Boy has a lot of hard hitters: Slurpuff, Latios, Flareon. I'm actually looking at Flareon in this, thinking it might be a very powerful wall breaker. The fact that it has Flare Blitz will hit Celesteela, and even the resisted hit on Mega Venusaur will probably do a lot of damage. Slurpuff is another Pokemon that is interesting. It can Belly Drum, but it does have a very wide and extensive moveset, so we could even see a different moveset on Slurpuff. He has brought Belly Drum set up Slurpuff a lot, but it can run a Choice Spec set, for example, with Energy Ball to hit Quagsire. Quagsire Unaware is probably something that's going to be coming in. Latios does go for boosts a lot. Calm Mind he used before, so I think he'll probably prepare for Quagsire running Unaware and go for some grass moves. Celesteela is going to be an interesting Pokemon because we don't know whether it's going to be defensive, specially defensive, or maybe an attacker even. And of course, Venusaur is looking pretty promising. Latios can take it down. Latios is probably going to be one of those Pokemon that's hard for Noob Scrub to deal with, depending on what its moveset is. Psyshock really gives Blissey some trouble, and Thunderbolt can potentially give Celesteela trouble. So this is going to be a really interesting match. I'm excited to see how this goes, and I'm sure both are going to play really well. This is a replay and not a live recording, so do keep that in mind as well. Alright, and without any further ado, let's begin. Leads, I'm going to assume Ferrothorn and Chandelure. Chandelure probably to counter the Ferrothorn lead. Ferrothorn is a really good lead, so. Alright, we begin, and it looks like the first Pokemon to come out are the Cryogonal, and Chandelure. So Chandelure was indeed the first one to come out. Cry is still out. Chandelure is going to switch, though. Interesting. I thought Noob Scrub would go for the Flamethrower. And Venusaur comes out. Ivysaurang, the Drapion, comes out. But Ferrothorn's going to come out instead. Ferromoron comes out to face Venusaur. Lots of switches happening. No moves used yet. But Venusaur is going to go for that first move. It is a Leech Seed, but Ferrothorn is immune. If Mega Venusaur accounted for Ferrothorn, it will have Hidden Power Fire. Indeed, we do see the Hidden Power Fire. Ferrothorn's going to go ahead and take that Hidden Power Fire and go for the Thunder Wave. Actually, I thought I was going to use Stealth Rock. Thunder Wave is a really interesting move. It will really bother Venusaur, especially in key moments where Venusaur will maybe need to Synthesis or go for a Leech Seed. Be Calm, the Latios, is the one to come out, though, to take that Hidden Power Fire, and indeed, Hidden Power Fire is the move that Noob Scrub decides to go for. Be Calm takes that in stride. It only does 8%. Blissey comes in. Risky considering Be Calm can go for a Psyshock, but it doesn't go for the Psyshock. We do see a Calm Mind setup starting. Blissey might want to go for a Toxic now, but Ferromoron is actually the one to come out, predicting that Toxic. Blissey goes for the Wish, not the Toxic. Interesting. So now Noob Scrub is free to bring something out. Chandelure could be a good choice to scare out Ferrothorn or Venusaur, considering it comes in very easily versus Ferrothorn. Chandelure is the one to come out though. Ferromoron is going to fear that Chandelure, but it does set up Stealth Rock. Chandelure does come in before the rocks is set up though, so it doesn't have any HP taken down, which is good for Noob Scrub. Doesn't look like Noob Scrub has any defoggers, so the rocks can be pretty troublesome to him, but Ivysaur, the Drapion comes out. Chandelure is going to go for the Shadow Ball instead of the Flamethrower. There's an SP defense drop. I think Noob Scrub was predicting the Latios switch-in. Chandelure is going to be withdrawn, but Pursuit is going to hit it very hard, dealing 90%. That is a lot of damage. And Quagsire is the one to come in. Quagsire is pretty comfortable versus Drapion, due to the fact that Drapion doesn't have any grass moves and Quagsire is quite physically defensive. I'm assuming we'll see Latios come in. No, Ferrothorn, which also is actually pretty good at taking on Quagsire. Quagsire is going to go for the Earthquake. It only does 17%. I do believe Ferrothorn has leftovers though. Yep, with the leftovers, that's only an effective 10%. Not a lot of damage. Quagsire is going to be scared out by that Power Whip, and indeed, Venusaur is the one to come in. Will Ferrothorn go for the Power Whip? Goes for the Leech Seed. Venusaur is not affected. At this point, will Latios come in again? Venusaur is probably going to go for the, going to predict that Latios switch in. Latios does come in. Be calm, the Latios. Will Venusaur go for that Leech Seed? We will never know because it's paralyzed. Maybe it would have gone for the Leech Seed, but that paralysis is going to force it to switch out into Blissey to avoid any Psychic or Psyshock damage. Latios is going to go for that Calm Mind once again. Blissey is here to try and wall it, but if Latios has Psyshock, this could be very bad news for Blissey. Blissey might go for the Toxic, maybe? Let's see. Be Calm goes for Calm Mind yet again, and Blissey actually sets up a Wish. Blissey's at 99% HP. Will Latios keep Calm Minding? No, it goes for the Psyshock. It does a whopping 81%, bringing it down to 18%. Blissey does still have a Wish coming, and it has Toxiced Latios now, so Latios does have a timer on it. One more Psyshock will be enough to take down Blissey, but Blissey will probably go for the Protect, knowing Noob Scrub, just to rack up a little bit more of that toxic damage. Indeed, Protect is the move that Blissey uses. Be Calm, the Latios going for that Psyshock, not hitting because of the Protect. Blissey's now at 80%. This could be a risky Psyshock. It did 81% last time, but who knows? Maybe the damage roll might not. Oh, and the damage roll isn't enough to take down Blissey. It does 76%. 81 might have been on the higher end of that damage roll. Blissey is now able to go for that Wish. I think Blissey will probably stay in and receive that Wish. I would be surprised if it didn't. Flareon's coming in. Cure me the Flareon. Latios did not want to take any more poison damage. Blissey's going to go for that Protect, but it fails. But it does receive that Wish because it is still in. Now, Flareon is out, toxicking itself with that Toxic Orb, but that does mean that this is likely a Guts Flareon, ready to use Flare Blitz or Facade. Facade's going to do big damage to Blissey. Yeah, you don't really want to use Flare Blitz versus Blissey because you're going to take so much damage as Recoil. Blissey is a little uncomfortable right now. The Drapion's going to be the one to come in. And Chandelure comes in, but that's pretty much just a death due to the Stealth Rock. So now Noob Scrub gets to switch in a favorable Pokemon to Drapion. And that Pokemon is Quagsire. We might see Ferrothorn or Latios come in to... Yep, it's Latios to take that Earthquake. And indeed it is Earthquake, but Levitate means that Earthquake is for naught. Quagsire is sitting pretty at 100%, Latios at 50. If it has Roost now, it can go for it pretty easily. Blissey's going to come out and Be Calm. The Latios is going to go for an Energy Ball to take down Quagsire. It's not going to do that much damage though. Blissey's going to be able to recover that with leftovers in 2 turns. Be Calm still being whittled down by that Toxic, and Flareon is the next one to come out. Once again, Wish is set up. We could see Quagsire come in to receive that Wish, or Blissey might stay in actually, just to get that HP. Indeed, Blissey does stay in. Protect is going to allow it to take the Wish, but Flareon goes for a Wish of its own. I think Drizzle Boy is probably going to go for healing Latios. Actually, Flareon goes for the Flare Blitz. It does massive damage, but due to the recoil on itself and Blissey's humongous HP stat, it does go down to 5%. And Flareon is actually, 9%. And Flareon is actually taken down by Blissey's Seismic Toss. Due to the fact that Seismic Toss hit Flareon, it does not receive the Wish. Latios now comes out. Blissey's going to go for Protect. Latios goes for the Psyshock, trying to pick off Blissey, rather. But the Toxic damage does mean that Latios is on a timer. Latios looks like it is the most threatening Pokemon on Drizzle Boy's team versus Noob Scrub. And a Protect from Blissey is not going to work. Down goes Blissey to Psyshock from Latios. Meanwhile, Latios takes increased poison damage. It will not be able to take one more turn of poison damage, I believe. Comfey is the one to come out to try and pick off Latios with that Draining Kiss. And Latios is saved for later. Pharaoh Moron is going to come in to take the Draining Kiss. And indeed, Draining Kiss is the move that Comfey used. It actually hurts itself from Draining Kiss, which is really weird. Well, I guess it is a contact move, despite the fact that it's special. But it's just funny to think about. Venusaur is going to come in. It is pretty safe versus Ferrothorn. Can't be Leech Seed. Doesn't care about Power Whip. Power Whip is the move that it decides to use, and it misses. Morgana saying, imagine kissing that thing. Yeah, that sounds like it hurts, especially with those iron barbs. Cryogonal, though, is the one to come in, and Venusaur is going to go for the Leech Seed, calling out that switch. Cryogonal does have the power to hit hard, especially with Ice Beam or Blizzard if it has it. Maybe Freeze Dry, depending on if it wants to hit Quagsire, but it just switches out. Be Calm, the Latios is going to come out, and Venusaur goes for the Hidden Power Fire. Be Calm is hit 10% HP. Toxic brings it down to 4%. It cannot take one more turn of Toxic damage, but Cryogonal is the one to come in again, and Venusaur is probably gonna switch out. Yeah, switches out. Comfey is the one to come in versus Cryogonal. And an Ice Beam is gonna do decent damage to Comfey, actually. Comfey is going to Heal Bell. Okay, yeah, I was wondering, wait, Comfey's not going first, that's weird. But Heal Bell is not a healing move, so it's not boosted in priority by Triage. Venusaur is now not paralyzed, though, which is really good for Noob Scrub. Cryogonal is going to go for the Ice Beam, and it does 29%. Another Ice Beam is going to bring Venusaur down to 12%, and it freezes! But Venusaur is thawed out. Oh my gosh, a really lucky moment for Noob Scrub as he goes for the Synthesis. And he is now sitting a lot more comfortable versus this Cryogonal. He's going to use Ice Beam again, taking it down to 31%. Venusaur probably going to go for that Synthesis again. Yep, indeed. Noob Scrub saying that could have cost me the game. Yeah, it looks like Mega Venusaur is very pivotal in handling these remaining Pokemon on Drizzle Boy's team. And Venusaur is going to go for the Leech Seed now. Leech Seed allows it to have some passive recovery versus this Cryogonal. Paired with Synthesis, Venusaur is going to be very hard to take down. Cryogonal is just going to go ahead and switch out. Slurpuff is the next one to come in. A risky move considering Venusaur can have Sludge Bomb. What is up the Slurpuff sleeve? I don't think this is going to be... Yeah, this is not a boosting Slurpuff. This is a Flamethrower Slurpuff, which means it could be a Choice Spec Slurpuff, actually, trying to go for a strong special set. Leech Seed is going to be successful on Slurpuff though, and now Venusaur is recovering. Will Drizzleboy stay in? He does not stay in. Ferrothorn is the one to come in instead. And Celesteela comes in, actually, which is interesting considering Slurpuff just used Flamethrower, but I guess Celesteela is especially defensive, or he wasn't worried about the Flamethrower. Celesteela has a Flamethrower of its own, though, taking down Ferrothorn. That Beast Boost is also going to raise Celesteela's defense. It looks like Drapion is the only one who that is applicable towards. So Be Calm, the Latios comes in. It is hanging on by a thread. Celesteela is going to Protect to let Toxic do its thing. Be Calm goes for the Z move though. It will still hit through Protect but not do much damage. It's a Gigavolt Havoc. You probably packed that on there for Celesteela. It does 28%, so if it would have hit without the Protect, it would have killed. But because of Protect, it was reduced to 25% of its power, and down goes Latios to poison damage. Cryogonal is the next one to come out. Going for that Ice Beam, it's going to do 36%, reasonable amount of damage. And the Heavy Slam is going to take down Cryogonal. Celesteela is going to continue raising its defense with Beast Boost. It looks like this could be a game over for Drizzleboy. Celesteela is really hard to take down. Slurpuff can still use Flamethrower though, and it will do considerable damage. Drapion comes out. Celesteela is going to Protect to scout out the move. And Drapion decides to go for a knockoff. If Drapion had Swords Dance, it actually could have used it, but Quagsire would have been able to wall anyways. Celesteela has its leftovers knocked off now, but it's going to go for the Leech Seed. Celesteela is an absolute wall right now, Leech Seeding Drapion. Drapion can't do much. Slurpuff comes in due to the fact that it can't do much to Celesteela. Celesteela goes for the Protect, but it does not work due to the fact that there's no move used. Flamethrower is going to hit hard though, taking down Celesteela. I think Noob Scrub was probably going to go for the Heavy Slam. Venusaur comes out now. Venusaur can still do some big damage with Leech Seed. Some walling, rather, not big damage. Small damage, that adds up. Leech Seed is successful, and Slurpuff is now seated. Venusaur is at near 50%. A Flamethrower won't be enough to take it down. And indeed, we see it's not enough, only doing 28%. Venusaur probably going to go for the Synthesis now. Indeed, Venusaur is going to recover with Synthesis, and the Leech Seed is going to bring it up to probably like 80%, 81%. Away goes Slurpuff. Drizzleboy does like to switch out when he's seated. He does not like Leech Seed doing damage. Ivysaurs, the Drapion, is going to get hit by that Giga Drain. Even resisted, it's going to do quite a bit of damage. Knockoff not going to do a lot of damage due to how defensive Venusaur is and the fact that Knockoff isn't powered up. And again, Leech Seed allowing Venusaur to passively restore HP. One more Giga Drain could be enough to take down Ivysaurs, the Drapion. Knockoff not doing that much damage, but Giga Drain will be it. Drapion goes down. The last Playmon standing on Drizzleboy's team is his Slurpuff. Top percent of Slurpuffs, the Slurpuff comes out. Probably going to try to go for that Flamethrower. Actually, it goes for the Energy Ball. Interesting choice. Maybe he was predicting a switch into Quagsire. Maybe Slurpuff is choiced, and choosing Flamethrower means it can't win. So he chose Energy Ball to maybe try to take down Quagsire. Yeah, I think this Slurpuff is probably choiced due to the fact that it keeps using Energy Ball. Venusaur is sitting pretty comfortably against this Slurpuff though. A Giga Drain is going to bring it down to kill percent at Leech Seed. And indeed, the Leech Seed takes down Slurpuff. And that is the game. It's a 3-0 victory for Noob Scrub's team over Drizzle Boy's team. Patch 3.0 Ivysaurs over Harlem Gloomtrotters. Really impressive performance by both sides. I think Drizzle Boy did a good job at switching out the Leech Seed and pressuring a lot. But Noob Scrub was able to use his stall to his advantage and really be unbreakable with Venusaur and Celesteela. Interestingly, Medicham didn't come, which Drizzle Boy says he should have brought Medicham. Medicham looks like it would be really good in this matchup, taking on both Blissey and Venusaur. Celesteela would have been a problem for it, but Latios was really good too. Really impressive performance. It looks like we're seeing Mega Venusaur starting to reign supreme with Noob Scrub. Will we see it climb up the MVP rankings? Who knows? Tune in for some more Week 7 matches coming up, and they will be up soon. I need to drink some water. I just commentated so much. They will be up soon, and I'll see you then.